To work the calculate button, like I said, there are three inputs you have to enter to solve a quadratic equation: the A, the B, and the C. So I'm going to declare these variables now as the A, B, C, and D also, because we'll calculate D ourselves, but as doubles. Those are the ones with integers. Oh, double rather. So they are the ones with integer, and I just have to also assign A, B, and C to the text boxes. So I'll say A equals to A dot text. C. B equals to B dot T X T, and C equals to C dot T X T, and D has a formula. So I'm just going to copy this formula here. Okay. And paste. So that's the formula for D. B raised to power 2 minus 4 times A times C. But because I don't want this video to be long, I'm just going to keep copying and pasting. So this will be the first if statement. Okay, let me copy this. The first if statement: if D rather is greater than 0. So because I'm using this Visual Studio, whenever I try to write something, it already knows what I'm trying to write. So all I have to do is just click enter, and it automatically sends it to me. So like here, I've not declared variable x1, so I'm going to declare variable x1 and x2 here. I'm going to say dim x1, x2, rail, and the merge as double. So because I've not used rail and emerge yet, that's why they are still like this. And I actually need to declare them actually. I'm just going to declare x1 and x2. So x1 equals to the formula for quadratic equation: minus b plus the square root of d and everything divided by 2a. So this whole bracket here divided by 2a, and x2 will be the minus 1. So message box, I'll show you message box at the end of the other session. Message box shows you the answer. It just pops up that this is the answer, and that's what I wanted to do. So if I say else if d equals to 0, you see it completes it for me. Then I'm going to declare x1 as, so it has a formula 2 minus b divided by 2a. There you go. And that's that. Then I just need to do the message box dot show, and then I have to declare x1. X is then and percent x1. Someone might ask that why did I not use x2? So when a code is running from here and it checks this, if d is greater than 0, then do this. But if it is less than 0, it skips this whole 4 lines and goes to this. Thereby you don't have a value for x2. And since when d is equals to 0, you only have one value of x, which means I only need to assign x1. That's why I'm using x1 here. If I use x2, I'll get an error because x doesn't exist. But the error won't show here until I run it. Yet. So if I don't, it's either it gives me 0, that is, it automatically makes x2 0, or it gives me an error. So I'm going to use x1. And finally, where you have the imaginary details, if d is less than 0, then what x1 and x2 blah 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 will give me this. Okay. So x1 is minus b, divided by this, and x2 is this. So you have the real image is x1. This is the formula for the real image, and this is the formula for the imaginary image. So you get this. Now you also have to assume that the users might just be stupid. They might decide to enter, or they might decide to enter else, something that is not correct. So this is what you do then. You just send them a message, box.show, please enter the correct details, and that is the end of the code. So with this, you have this is the code you need to solve them. But this is just that so this is the answer to the question 1 assignment, basically the quadratic equation.